Hi Trinity Rock and Pop Drummers, hope you're well. Right, little talk through video for you here for You Know I'm No Good by Amy Winehouse, of course, from Trinity Rock and Pop Drums grade 5. Shout out to my monthly member Vic, who's working on this one and requested this video. So it starts like this. So what we've got here is a straightforward straight eighths feel, but some really tasteful stuff going on. This is all about ghost notes or ghosted notes. Those notes you play nice and quiet right next to the drum head. It can't be overstated here. I think the value of working on your ghost notes. I've got one or two little ghost notes or drills. I'll put those in the video description for this video. You can check those out. If you've not done much with ghost notes, it's a really nice opportunity to sort of build that skill. Ghost notes, those lovely quiet notes that drummers play that sit in between the hi-hats or ride, and they're just low and they just complement the sound of the hi-hat and the ride, and they contrast with, to my ears, the big louder sort of backbeat style hits that a drummer hits on beat 2 and beat 4. So let's take it a bar at a time. Bar 1. So here we've got 1 and 2 and Now that is a buzz stroke on the of beat 2. So giving the stick a bit more of a pinch than normal. Fingers between your finger and your thumb. Fingers at the back, away from the stick a little bit. Press into that drum head like you'd play on a buzz roll, but just for a single hit. Then you've got 3E and 4 and. The E there, in between the hi-hats on the snare drum, ghosted. So first bar. And what we'll often do with students in lessons is just go round and round like a bar at a time. No reason why not, on a loop. That's bar 1. Bar 2 goes like this. So again here, the big theme is straight eighths feel. The snare drum plays a backbeat hit on 2 and 4. And yeah, ghosted notes, right? Here it comes. 1 and 2 and first little ghosted note. 3E and 4 and You get it? So I'll play that nice and slow. I'll loop bar 2 a little bit. And a 3E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3E and 4 and Bars 1 and 2. I'm such a big fan of this, and I'm just always encouraging students to do this, and the ones that do have such success with this, and the ones who don't often find these pieces more tricky. Just take these little moments, string them together, loop them, just make friends with them, get to know them. Everyone's so desperate to put the music on and play straight away. You've got to learn the blooming part first, man. Take your time, go over it, drill it, really focus in on those ghost notes versus loud notes and the buzz stroke in there as well. Just get it all to feel good, man. Spend quality time with it, and it'll be all the better for it. Bar 3 is when the kind of main groove kicks in. So you could think of those first 2 bars as like intro, couldn't you? And then in the 3rd bar onwards, we've got this. So 1 and 2 and Now those are ghosted little notes, man. Nice and soft. 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1. You got it? 1 and 2 and Now the coordination on that is a little bit interesting, I think, a little bit unusual. 1 and 2 and You getting it? So 2, loud snare and hi-hat, and quiet snare and hi-hat, and the quiet snare on its own. One thing about the ghosted notes, by the way, I meant to say, is obviously they're as quiet as you can play and still play cleanly. Sometimes drummers ask me, well, hang on, well, when we play ghost notes, when we play softly, like quiet dynamics, we play away from the center of the snare. Should I be playing on the edge of the drum here? And I think I do that on a sort of case-by-case basis. If it's easy to do in the groove, then cool, nothing wrong with that. I often find when you're playing grooves where it's like you're in and out of the ghosted notes and the main notes, when you're playing... I often feel like moving away from the center to play your ghost notes and then back to the center to play your big backbeat hit on the snare drum can be quite disruptive to the flow. So I often make the judgment to keep the ghost notes in the center of the snare within a groove. So and that's what I'm doing here personally. When I'm playing this, I'm playing the ghost notes in the center. Okay, bar 6 at the end of that section goes. So here we've got 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a little variation 3E, which is loud, and 4 and bar 6. I'll loop it. Okay, and then the verse that comes in now is that same groove that's been established. So bar 7 onwards. And so on, pre-chorus now, bar 15. So here it's the same as bar 2, isn't it? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and The big thing here, assuming you've got the coordination down, is that contrast, man. The quiet note versus the loud note, as quiet as you can play and still play cleanly. Just make that examiner's day, man. They hear people playing this song a lot and they hear people going... And when you go in and you play... They're going to be like, yes, finally, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Somebody with a lovely musical feel who gets these ghost notes super quiet as you can play and still play cleanly. Lovely. And then the last line here of the first page goes like this. So we go into more of a classic soul Motown kind of feel, don't we? I think of those 4 beats in the bar on the snare. There's an absolutely classic Motown feel. I've actually made a video about the Motown beat, and it's like bar 2 and 3. It's that. So it's one of those, isn't it? In fact, it's almost bar 1 as well, isn't it? So, yeah, classic Motown or soul feel. So you got bar 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 up. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky little ghosted note on the of beat 4, 2, 4 and right at the end. That's that. And then the chorus. So this is the same beat as the pre-chorus was earlier. Cool. Then the solo break. This is second page, third line. So first bar, 1 and 2 and so kind of like the main groove when it kicks in at the start, but then 3E and 4 and. First bar of the solo break. 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4 and. Second bar of the solo break, 1 and 2 and a. So same first half, and then 3 and 4 and. Little open hi-hat on the and of beat 3. I'll play the 2 bars of solo break a couple of times. And again, and 2, and a 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and a 3, and 4, and. All right, that's that. Now then, assuming that you're still the first time round here, after the solo break, you go all the way back to the verse, right? All the way back to the verse. So there's repeat marks there at the end of the solo break with the first time section with the number 1 over the top. Remember that number 1 over the top means this is what you play the first time around. You then do the repeat, right? So you got the 2 lines and 2 dots at the end of the solo break the dots are pointing backwards. So you go all the way back to the repeat mark that faces the other way. That's the verse, and you play all that stuff again. So you then play the second verse. You play the pre-chorus. And you play the bit at the end of the first page. And this time, you play a drum fill before you go into the chorus. So the second, like it says there, at the end of the first page, fill second and third time. So we're on the second time now. So you play a little drum fill. Top tip here, just to my ears, I think a really good idea here is sticking on the snare drum with your fill. This isn't the only thing that will get you good marks. If you listen to the original, amazing Homer Steinweiss, great drummer, who played on this, he doesn't go to the toms at any point. I think I'm right in saying that. So I would say just go with that vibe, man. And the rest of the song, there's no tom-tom hits, are there? So a lot of people I've worked with this, they said, I've learnt this one, and I say, cool, let's give it a listen. Often they play really well, and when they get to this bit, they go. Some big fill they've worked out, and I think cool, that could be good, but I really feel like in the musical context here, just stay on the snare, something tasteful on the snare. As ever, have a listen to the original, man. Be inspired by that. This isn't exactly the same arrangement, exactly the same notes as the original, but it's obviously captures the vibe of that. So I would personally stay on the snare drum here. So things like, for the drum fill at the end of the first page, simple variations, man. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. Just little simple changes there would be absolutely fine. You definitely don't get more marks for playing more notes, which is the age-old rule. Something musically appropriate and tasteful will always win there. Okay, so now we go to the chorus. This is the second time through, remember. And so when we finish the chorus this time, the diagonal slashes, by the way, are continue similar. So it's almost like a repeat, but you can add some variations if you like. So you might play things like, very small, subtle variations, but it's basically a repeat. You can put in small variations. That contrast then, so the diagonal slashes at the top of the second page contrast with the regular repeat mark on the first page. When it's a repeat mark, you just play a repeat, man. No improvising there. When it's diagonal slashes, you can put some changes into the groove if you like. Never at the expense of making it flow, though, man. I think on the original, he pretty much plays it dead straight in those sections. The odd change here or there, though, could be fun. Okay, cool. Then you this time don't go to the solo break. You go, because it's got the 2 over the top, and this is the second time round, to the horn riff. By the way, at the end, I'll go through and I'll recap exactly the repeats and everything. I'll take you all through the tune one last time at the end, so that's super clear. But the horn riff, this goes like this. Okay, horn riff, first bar. 1 E and 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a. Usual deal, groove on that a bit. Second bar, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. So 1 and 2 and a, 3 and 4 and a. Loud snare at the end. Third bar continues similar, so something pretty similar to that. And the fourth bar, 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Now this one, effectively at the end, they're just a single stroke roll, isn't it, between your hi-hat and your ghosted snare. So this is bar 34 here at the end of the horn riff. It goes like this. So I'm looping it now. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. I'll play the whole horn riff, 4 bars, one time again a bit slower. Okay, continue similar and develop. So. That's your thing, man. Now it's time to do that lovely thing that hopefully you do. I mean, I've been saying it. If you've been having lessons with me, I'll have been saying this to you from grade initial to grade 5, where you're at now, is every time there's something in the music that's quite cool, it's quite interesting, a groove of some sort, take it out, play with it, noodle with it, make changes, make sure you can kind of improvise around it a little bit. And this is your chance to do that in anger, man, in the music. So that's the thing. Little changes, subtle changes. You could maybe, when you're first putting the song together, do this section as a straight repeat of what you've just played above. But then as you progress, start to make some changes, subtle differences, nothing major, man, but some nice changes here would be cool. You've then got 3 bars rest. That's what that is. The big 3 with the black line underneath. 3 bars tacit. So remember, the pulse here is, and count, man. I don't know why somebody like not every student, a lot of students here just suddenly just sit there and then they go, oh, I'm finding it hard coming back in. Say the numbers, dude. Here we go. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there's your 3 bars, right? And then 1 and 2 and 3 and then you're back in, right? So when you come back in, kind of hip hop style, this comes in on beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You're getting that beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So beat 4 is a loud hi-hat and snare, and is a kick and hi-hat, and then little ghosted snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We then go into the main groove. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play from the horn riff. I'm going to play all the way through. I'm going to count in the rest. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to stop where it says DS Al Coda. Here we go. 2, 3, horn riff. Okay, 35. 39. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. This time 1, 2, 3. All right, I did one extra kick, didn't I, when I came in? I'll go again from the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then says DS Al Coda. So if you've been doing these grades by this point, you will have seen that quite a lot, hopefully by now. It means dal segno al coda, from the sign until the coda. So at that point, you jump back to the pre-chorus. So bar 15, where the funny thing looks like a dollar sign is, right? With like a slash through it. That is the segno or the sign. So you go back to there and you play until it says to Coda, which is at the end of bar 30, hang on, 27, 28, 29, bar 30. Yeah, cool. So when it says DSL Coda, you jump to the Coda, back to the pre-chorus, you play 15 through to 30, and then the last bit where it says to Coda, you jump to the Coda, which is the last 2 lines. Again, at the end, I'll go through and recap all of this. Okay, so we've kind of covered this, haven't we? DSL Coda, we go back and do the pre-chorus again. A different drum fill here. This is where it's 3rd time, where it says their fill 2nd, 3rd time at the very end of the first page. This is the 3rd time, so a different drum fill. I'd recommend staying on the snare there. And then chorus, and then when you finish the chorus this time, bar 30, you jump to the Coda, and the Coda is just this. So a groove there that we've played a few times already. And you sit on that, few little variations here because it's diagonal slashes. And eventually, bomb, you land on beat 1. That's a hi-hat and a kick. If I had £1 for every time someone had walloped a crash cymbal at the end there, I'd be rich. It's a hi-hat and a kick at the end, right? So what you do, just taking the repeats and everything for a second, you start at the beginning and you play the intro. You play the verse, you play the pre-chorus without a drum fill, you play the chorus, you play the solo break with the 1 over the top. You then loop back to the verse, you play that again. This is the 2nd time now, the 2nd verse. You play the pre-chorus, you play the chorus, and now you play the horn riff with the 2 over the top. You then play the next line and the next line. You then get to DSL Coda and you jump back to the pre-chorus. You play the pre-chorus 1 final time and then you do the 3rd drum fill. Again, recommend staying on the snare. And then you play the chorus and then when you get to Coda, you finally jump to the Coda, which is the last 2 lines. 1 time again, intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, solo break, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, horn riff, pre-chorus, chorus, and then another chorus at the end, right? Hope that makes sense. It's a really lovely tune, man. Amazing, of course, talent Amy Winehouse was. Incredible band, amazing sound on those records. Homer Steinweiss, incredible playing. Precision, like musically appropriate. Listen, just all-time classic drum playing, I think. Drum kit playing, and so tasteful, and so, yeah, that precision, man. The ghosted notes are the thing. Again, please have a look at my ghost note drills. Get your head around that if you haven't already. And again, massive shout out to Vic. Thanks, Vic, for suggesting this one. It's cool that you're working hard on this. And thanks for watching. I hope these full talk-throughs are useful. Please let me know if so. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe and you want to get a notification every time I upload a video, which is pretty much every day, please click the little bell icon. And yeah, as always, thanks to all the amazing people who've supported this channel. If you've watched these videos and found them useful or entertaining or helpful in any way, and you're in a position to, please consider supporting this channel. You can do that in one of 2 ways via my Buy Me a Coffee support page, which is linked to in the video description below. You can buy me a coffee, which I hugely appreciate. I need coffee in this game to keep going. And you can also, like Vic, become a monthly member. As a monthly member, monthly supporter, for £10 a month, you get to support this channel and help it grow. And thanks a million to all the amazing people who've done that. Appreciate it so much. All the people around the world supporting this channel is absolutely incredible. And I really can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You also get a whole load of things in return. You get a practice plan, a customized practice plan, a free Zoom session, a discount on future Zoom sessions. You get members videos. You get the notation for, like the written out notation for YouTube videos that I put up, and a whole load of other features coming up as well on that side, plus ongoing drum support. So you message me your questions, I'll message you back, give you video responses where appropriate. I'll be on hand to help you as you develop. So this is an amazing kind of mutual situation we've got going on. It's such a cool thing. Thanks again to everyone who's got involved. And with that, if that sounds like it'd be of interest, details in the description below. And thanks for watching. Good luck with Amy Winehouse in your grade 5, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.